aka Trigger Ranking. Basically today, y'all, I did a live earlier, but we back. Appreciate y'all guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to the. Um, yeah, we're gonna start off with a bit of randomness. We just gonna see what we can pull up tonight. See what we can get to, man. I'm gonna hit y'all up. Give me 2 seconds. Let me close this. Let me close this, and then we'll be able to start up the show. Peace. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me move this thing. Gotta do a little rearrangement here. All right, y'all. What's up, man? Had to do a little bit of a little moving and stuff. Hold on. All right, y'all. What's up, man? Let's see what we got going on. I'm just going down the line. I have downloaded a whole bunch of stuff to actually react to, so about to see what's going on right now, y'all. First one, they talking about Cardi B, so we're gonna see what they're talking about with Cardi.
After I gave birth to my son, my was huge. And the reason why my was so huge, because I almost came 20, and you already know my already has some shots. So my was already huge and like putting that baby weight on my body, plus the
it looks like he's official.
So they're basically saying Stefan did reveal why he dumped Cardi B. So we're gonna listen to it, y'all.
Officially done playing defense for her. After Cardi B's Coachella performance went viral for all the wrong reasons, the internet...
They say she went viral because they say her buttocks was smelling. Said it smelled like the air got real thick when she started twerking on stage. So basically they saying that BBL got a hell of a smell. So yeah, y'all know what it is.
Lit up with brutal speculation that her BBL had completely...
And ladies, just to be honest with you, even if you don't got a butt, it's cool. You don't have to tear your body down to try to build it back up. This ain't 9/11. We're not destroying two buildings and building them back up for the one center. Women, love your bodies, love the way God made you, because at the end of the day, bro, it's a lot of women that's getting BBLs it's not looking or smelling good.
And just like that, Stefan popped up back with his former flame, and boom, they were dating again. Cardi's BBL has been a hot topic for years.
What's
People
up?
have whispered, posted, and dragged, saying something just seems off. Now let's be clear, we're not body shaming, but the situation, it stinks. And apparently it's stinking so bad that even Stefan might have tapped out because of it. As usual, Cardi hasn't stayed silent. She's been clapping back at fans who are furious about Stefan allegedly ditching her.
Damn, they say her BBL stank like garbage. Damn, not dumpster juice. Come on, Cardi. Come on, Cardi.
Cardi style. But let's be honest, the mess is already knee-deep and only getting smellier. Let's dive in. So, Cardi B's body has been a social media obsession for a minute now, and to her credit, she's been pretty open about the work she's had done. That said, people have praised her curves just as much as they've dragged her.
Now, Cardi be getting her, they say her teeth was messed up. I didn't see where her teeth was ever messed up at. Because I remember when she was on Love and Hip Hop. I don't remember. I used to like her back then, but I never seen when her teeth was messed up. I think she a beautiful woman. I just feel like a lot of these women, like my main girl that I like right now in the industry is SZA. And SZA had a BBL, and she had to get the BBL removed. But like I said, ladies, love your bodies the way that they are. Find you a man that's gonna love your body and treat your body like a temple, whether you got a BBL or not. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody gonna get old. So all these BBLs are standing up like this right here. They're gonna slowly start sagging. They're gonna slowly start going down. Like, you know what I'm saying? So y'all, hey man, love yourself for who you is. Now ain't nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying, enhancing it if it's yours. But if you do it, make sure that it's worth the enhancement, and that the enhancement is not gonna hurt your body, because we only live one life, and our bodies are our temple. So stop trying to build a butt, ladies. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk because we got dudes out here. Look at Drake. Drake, where you get Drake, where you get your abs from?
The hard truth, plastic surgery can be addictive. It's easy to get lost in the tweaks, snips, and fillers.
Now, that right there could be something that I could probably get on board with, as far as plastic surgery being addictive. Because certain things that people do to their bodies get addicted. Like some people, they get a lot of piercings. Some people get, besides piercings, they get stuff like plastics. Oh, tattoos. So a lot of people be saying that, you know, the tattoos be addictive, and I can go with that. Like, you get one right here, you be like, man, I want another one. I want one over here. I want one right here. And then next thing you know, they walk around with a face full of tattoos and stuff. So yeah, man.
And forget where the line is. Then came that viral Coachella photo. And not for the right reasons. Things got real messy, real fast. Cardi tried to shut it down, claiming the pic was altered, but everyone knows Getty doesn't touch up their photos. What you see is what you really get. In damage control mode, she dropped a new pic of herself, and honestly, it looked great, but fans weren't buying it. They accused her of slapping on filters and Photoshop like a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. And in true Cardi fashion, she went off, calling her critics broke, ugly, and bitter.
I always use stupid because...
Now see, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When you in the spotlight and you're doing stuff like, you might be a celebrity, a face of something or whatever, people are gonna come for you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever you do. Like, people gonna hate you for whatever you do. You can do the right thing, they might hate you. You can do the wrong thing, they might hate you. So, you know, hate gonna come. Like, when I get on these lives and stuff, man, you know how many clowns come in here in the comment sections? It'd be a good amount of people who show love, but it's also it should be like Ringling Brothers in the comment section, bro.
It's never the bad piece. It's never the bad. You know what it is? It's never the bad piece, and it's never the trans piece. The trans.
Now that right there, all that bad beat and like, come on, bro.
Pretty. The trans always pretty. The bad pretty. The niggas with the money pretty. It's always you bad bill, angry, jealous bitch, and it's always you.
And it's not like, so when you coming from her aspect of listening to the hate, you don't know who hating on you. You saying it ain't never the bad females. It might be a bad female right now that never had no surgery looking at you like, that don't look right. That don't look good. You know what I'm saying? So That happens, bro.
Funky, ugly, country, butch queens. As if the mess wasn't messy enough, the streets are now buzzing with a wild rumor. Stefan Diggs reportedly ditched Cardi B because her BBL smelled so bad. He couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, you heard that right. Word is, the breakup was less irreconcilable differences and more irrepressible odor. Allegedly, Stefan had to tap out and...
Damn, not it. It's not funny, bro. That's what I'm telling y'all ladies. Love yourself for who y'all are, bro. Like, you know what I mean? All this long hair, eyelashes like that, y'all paying $80 to $100 to get eyelashes that look like that right here, bro. I never looked at a woman like, oh, your eyelashes are so beautiful. Bro, that shit don't matter. It don't matter. Well, it don't matter to me. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, you might find a dude be like, oh, this ain't did and this ain't, bro. I'm not like that. If you're a beautiful woman, you ain't gotta have all that makeup on and all that. Like, I'm like, God, come as you are. If you ain't got your nails done, your feet done, just let your toes be clean and just freshly manicured. You ain't gotta have all this colors and long toenails and long, bro. You ain't gotta have all that, bro. Like, that's not what's gonna attract me to you as a woman. What attracts me to a woman is her being a woman, being herself, being original, not trying to fit the mold that you see on Instagram, TikTok, and all these other things, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, these people are parading around in basically a mask. It's like a charade, bro. It's like Eyes Wide Shut, the movie, bro. Like, these women throw on these masks and think somebody gonna want them just because, you know, you got a fat booty and if you, I don't care how fine you is. You got a nasty attitude, I'm good, baby. I like dealing with women who are beautiful, who don't even flaunt the fact that they're beautiful. They'll get down, they'll joke with you, play fight, shit like that. I like women like that. Like, I ain't all that extra. I'm a bad B and I ain't got time for all that, bro. You a bad B, keep it pushing.
Bring it back to his ex, who, unsurprisingly, welcomed him with open arms. And she wasn't subtle about it either. The ex wasted no time posting cozy pics of her. And Stefan cuddled up like they never skipped a beat. She even dropped receipts. Screenshots of Stefan texting her.
So they say Stefan left Cardi and went right back to his ex-gal. That's crazy.
During the time he was supposed to be booed up with Cardi. Then, after weeks of silence, Sis came out swinging with shade. She posted, "That does not sound like the kind of talk you have." Fans immediately clocked it. Was Stefan two-timing Cardi the entire time? She followed up with, "I hate when..."
And a lot of stuff with these celebrities, bro, it's like, it just be a big old circle of just, what they call it, hedonism. Just a bunch of just effing going on. Like, I remember DJ Vlad had put some kind of little board together. Cause you know DJ Vlad, they messy, bro. So the man put like a board together of who messing with who. And bro, it was crazy how many people on this board actually slept with each other, bro. It's like he had the females, the males, and then he showed who slept with who. And it looked like, it didn't look good.
Ninja act like he wasn't just crashing out being a stalker, but I'll let them have social media and play my part so he can get his clout. And if that wasn't enough, she ended the rant with a mic drop. I don't post him, I be with him in real life, and we be doing it raw. Whew. Now the internet is pointing fingers and saying the real
might be careful doing it wrong with Cardi, because
and Cardi got left.
That thing might be rancid. That thing might smell like a rancid animal or something. Please, to the ladies who follow Cardi B, to the dudes who follow Cardi B, don't come for me. Please don't come for me, bro. I'm just letting y'all know this is what they saying. I didn't say this, bro. I didn't come on here saying this. This is what the massive population is saying, that her buttocks smells like dumpster juice. So yeah.
BL, the claim that it's so botched, it chased Stefan away. Look, I'm not confirming anything. I don't have nose proof, but if it's true, that's beyond messy. Still, it wouldn't be completely shocking. Cardi's love of cosmetic enhancements is no secret. Hollywood might be feeling some surgery fatigue, but let's be honest, plastic surgery is practically a rite of passage out there. Celebs love to act like their transformations came from kale and hot yoga, but we all know Pilates didn't give you a...
I ain't gonna lie, when I was young, like, I had an issue with my nose, like, you know what I'm saying? And my stepdad used to, like, joke on me, like, used to pick at my nose and stuff, but as I got older, it's like, bro, it's me, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't be nobody else, and I wouldn't never do nothing to cosmetically, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I get like a lump or something growing on the side of my face, like, nah, I'm gonna have that shit cut off. Now that's out of here. We ain't gonna have no lumps and missing teeth and all this other, like, if I got missing teeth, get what? I'm finna get that fixed. But as far as cutting my nose up, pulling my skin back because I'm wrinkles, bro, I don't give a damn about that, bro.
Brand new face over.
I'm going old gracefully, bro.
Overnight. Most of them lie hard. They'll swear it's just contour, a new skincare routine, or I went vegan. And suddenly they've morphed into a human Bratz doll. But Cardi, she's always been real. She didn't pretend she just woke up one day with an hourglass figure. She's spoken openly about the procedures she's had, even warning fans to think twice before going under the knife. That kind of honesty, it's rare.
So think about this. She got it. She gets it done all the time, and she's warning other people about it. Like, why? Like, why should this go down? Like, you did?
And people respect her for it. Still, even her realness hasn't shielded her from criticism lately. Fans are starting to wonder, is Cardi doing too much? Her face and body seem to be evolving again, and not necessarily in the best way. The whispers are getting louder. People are asking whether all the tweaks, tucks, and touch-ups are starting to catch up. Cardi may not talk about it as openly now, but her history tells the story. She's said it before. Growing up, the standard of beauty in her world was thick thighs, big booties, curvy everything. That's what was...
And bro, that's not realistic, bro. Every woman don't look like that, bro. Like, I live in the South. There's a lot of women down here in the South now. Their bodies are naturally like that because they cornbread fed, eating collard green, neck bone, and all that, because that's the way they feed them down here. I'm from the South, from Florida. But when I go to places like New York, I ain't gonna say ain't no thick girls in New York, but what I will say is, when I went to New York, I seen more petite women than down south. When I went to LA, I seen more women that had like more natural shapes. Now I know in certain parts of LA and all that, it's a lot of women out there that's, you know, that went under the knife. But for the most part, I seen an ass load of women out there in LA. They were working out. Damn near the whole LA was working out when I went out there. They had goddamn yoga pants and, you know what I'm saying? They doing their thing out there. They trying to get it naturally.
Celebrated. But young Cardi didn't fit that mold. She was skinny, and in her environment, skinny wasn't cute. It was clownable. She was one of the few girls who didn't have that coveted Coke bottle frame, and it messed with her. The bullying, the taunts, it chipped away at her self-esteem until she started feeling like something...
That's the thing. You gotta love yourself, bro. Life is like a card game. When God give you the cards, the hand that you are dealt, that's the hand you got to play with, fam. So, yeah.
What's wrong with her?
All of these, they're like, they praise big girls, they praise us, they praise thighs, they praise all of that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna walk around my flat. No. Some of y'all happy with it, that's great, but that just wasn't me when I was young, so.
When Cardi started stripping, the game started to change, but not quite in the glittery, self-love fairy tale people imagine. The club didn't instantly hand her confidence or power. In fact, it hit her with another harsh reality check. She still didn't have the it body that dominated the scene. She stayed slim, and in her culture,
craziest thing is, she didn't accept herself before. But when she got the surgery and started getting all these curves and all this other stuff, now that the BBL smell like the bottom of a dumpster, the juice at the bottom of a dumpster. Now she got some more stuff to worry about. So, like I said, y'all ladies love yourself for the way y'all was made, the way God made y'all.
Weren't just desired, they were worshipped. And once again, Cardi found herself invisible, ignored, undervalued. The rejection only deepened the wounds left by years of bullying and feeling like she wasn't enough. But Cardi's a hustler. She saved her coins and made her first move, breast augmentation at just 18. That surgery, a game changer. For the first time, she felt like she was becoming the woman she wanted to see in the mirror. But if you know anything about cosmetic surgery...
So my ex-wife, after she had my first daughter, my ex-wife, she wanted to get a breast job. And I definitely wanted more kids. So my being a father, I was just worried about, well, damn, I want my children to be breastfed. How the hell you gonna have one child and then get a boob job? I don't want my baby sucking on silicone and all this other stuff like that, bro. Like that ain't what it is, my G.
You know that high doesn't last long. Once you fix one thing, it becomes a slippery slope. That boob job was just the beginning. After the surgery, things improved slightly, but she was still making...
So I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. The main person that we can look at is Little Kim. Bro, Little Kim back in the day, my nigga. I don't care how much of a HOE or 304 y'all say she is, bro. Little Kim back in the day was beautiful, my nigga. Brown skin, nice broad, beautiful black nose, skin beautiful brown. Now she looking like, walking around here looking like one of the goddamn Jacksons and shit. She look like she got a Jackson and a goddamn Benjamin in her house.
Less than the curvier dancers, and her flat backside kept her from competing with the big earners. To make it worse, her man was cheating. And guess what the other girl had? A huge booty. Suddenly, it wasn't just about money, it was personal. She started thinking, if I just had more curves, maybe he wouldn't strike. But Cardi was only 20, broke, and living in New York. Nowhere near the kind of money or access needed for a legit BBL. She also didn't have enough body fat to harvest for one. So she turned to a back alley option. She found a woman named Donna Francis and paid $800 for illegal silicone injections in her thighs and butt. Yeah, that Donna Francis, the same woman who made headlines after one of her clients died during a procedure after a drawn-out legal...
Damn. That's what I'm saying, y'all. The girl got the job done and died.
Donna was eventually arrested and sentenced for running an illegal silicone ring. Cardi survived, but barely, and it wasn't without consequences. She told GQ the aftermath was hell. It was the craziest pain ever. I felt like I was going to pass out. I felt dizzy, and it leaked for like...
Man, I done seen women get BBLs. I done seen some horrifying stories about these BBLs, my G. Like, I done seen women get BBLs, bro, and it's like... Bruh. It was like, bruh. If it take all that for a fat ass, bro, y'all can have that shit. Give me a little skinny female. Give me a chicken leg, a chicken bone. I don't care, bro. I don't care.
5 days. Yikes. That pain scared her straight for a while. Cardi laid off surgery after that, finally feeling like she had the body she always wanted. But the peace didn't last. In 2019, after giving birth to her daughter Culture, she found herself back on the table. Breastfeeding had changed her body, and she wasn't feeling the new look. She went in for a touch-up. And
now, I ain't gonna lie. After she had her first child now. After I had my first child, my ex-wife, her breast, bro, like, after my first child, my ex-wife, her breasts just, like, they were, like, so my ex-wife, like, basically she had a nice shape. But she was small-chested, but her breasts were perky. Like, they stood up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the nipples was, like, will poke you in your eye, bro. Because they was, you know, after she had my baby, oh, my God. Everything, it got flat, like, you know what I'm saying, like a pancake. But I still love my ex-wife for her for who she was, and that didn't make a difference to me. When I married her under the pretense that, okay, if you lose a limb, if you in a car wreck, something happened to you, like, I love you for you. I married you for better or worse, richer or poor, sickness or health. So
liposuction to bounce back faster. Big mistake. She didn't give herself enough time to recover. Instead of resting, she jumped right back into her demanding schedule of performances and appearances. At one point, her feet were so swollen from the lipo, she posted a photo online. And let's just say, it was not cute. Her body was screaming for rest, and she finally had to listen. The swelling scared her so badly that she actually took her doctor's advice and pulled back. She even told fans, "I've been working out for the past 2 weeks because I ain't getting surgery again." For a while, it looked like Cardi was swearing off the knife. She even tried to fix her nose with fillers instead of surgery, but that didn't go as planned either. The fillers gave her nose a strange shape, and eventually, she caved and went in for a full rhinoplasty to get it right. But of course, it didn't stop there.
They had to cut her nose up to get it right. First she was getting, they said fillers. So you know them fillers is like, I know a lot of people don't know what fillers is. Well, if you ain't really in Hollywood and all that, you don't really know what no fillers is. But fillers is when somebody take, I think it's called Botox, and they inject it in their nose, their cheeks, things like that, like to kind of fill things out to make your, but what they won't tell you is, they'll say, some people say the fillers, they feel for a second, but it goes away. Bro, that filler stuff, it stays in your body, bro. I done seen like x-rays of people who've had fillers for years. And the craziest thing is, all of them fillers and injections is still in there, like you can see it. If you look through the skin with x-ray vision, you can see that it doesn't go anywhere.
After giving birth to her second child in 2021, Cardi hinted at getting a tummy tuck. No matter how much she worked out, she said, the loose skin from pregnancy just wouldn't go away. But what really had fans talking wasn't the tummy, it was the booty. Suddenly, her backside looked bigger again, and the proportion...
I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Rihanna, one of them superstars, and I hate to talk about another man's wife like this, but Rihanna is one of those superstars that I'm like, bro, I'd take her any day, bro. And I don't know if she had any kind of work or anything done like that, but Rihanna, bro, I'd take her any day, my chick. Any day, my nigga. I'm talking about with 3 kids, or with all the ASAP Rocky kids, and she pregnant now. I take Rihanna any day, bro, over any of these chicks, my nigga. Who else? Who else I don't think got plastic surgery? Jasmine Sullivan. I take Jasmine Sullivan over anyone, chubby and all. Jasmine Sullivan, come on, bro. I take that any day. I actually fuck with Lizzo, but I just don't want Lizzo after the fact, after she got all this damn working shit done. Like, I want Lizzo fat and juicy like a ham, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can poke in a little bit of juice come out, like, bloop, bloop. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real, my nigga.
A little off. Her waist looked snatched, but her butt was still massive, and people were side-eyeing her hard. Accusations started flying. She's back on the table, more butt shots, sneaky procedures. Social media went wild with people saying she looked unnatural, even unhealthy. But
it's crazy though, because like me, I look at this, I be on social media, I look at all of this stuff, bro. Like, you know, I look at these females' pictures and things of that nature. I know they be putting filters and all this other stuff, but at some point in time, like, these females gonna have to remember, bro, this called social media. That's why they have filters to put on there, bro, to make you look a certain type of way. Like, bro, like, and another thing, bro, Alicia Keys, I love the way she stopped wearing makeup. Like, that shit, Alicia Keys, beautiful, my nigga, without any makeup, my nigga. Without any kind of makeup, she's a dime, dog. She might be a quarter piece out here. And I don't think she got no surgery, dog.
Cardi, being Cardi, wasn't about
If she do, y'all let me know in the comment section.
To let the internet drag her without clapping back. She hopped on Instagram Live to shut down rumors that she'd gotten more shots. She didn't play dumb. She didn't act like she couldn't see what people were saying. She admitted it. Yeah, her butt looked a little off. But in true Cardi fashion, she faced...
You know what I'm saying? That booty, hey. That booty dragging the ground now, bro. That booty dragging in the sand at the beach, bro. Like, for real, my nigga. Like, come on now. Leave that booty alone. Leave that booty meat alone. That's all I got to say. Leave the booty meat alone. Let the booty meat do what the booty meat do. Come on, man.
Head on, bold, unbothered, unapologetic.
The dancer and everything, like, I had the teeth, I had the bump tattoos, I had a six pack, I could do a whole split, everything, but not split, but I could do crazy pole tricks, all that shit. But I was missing some.
Cardi's been open about regretting her illegal butt enhancements for a while now. And to be honest, it's been pretty clear that her BBL.
So, hold on, y'all. Let me come back down here.
Drag her without clapping back.
But she actually got the money to get the real joints done. And now that she got the money, it's still not fitting her to, like, I guess. Cause I honestly, bro, I like Cardi B, but I don't be looking for her booty on her page. I'm not into all that, bro. Like,
hopped on Instagram Live to shut down.
I know what she look like. I ain't gotta keep scrolling down her page and looking at all these damn pictures. I know what the woman look like.
Rumors that she'd gotten more shots. She didn't play dumb. She didn't act like she couldn't see what people were saying. She admitted it. Yeah, her butt looked a little off. But in true Cardi fashion, she faced it head on, bold, unbothered, unapologetic.
The dancer and everything, like, I had the teeth, I had the bump tattoos, I had a six pack, I could do a whole split, everything, but not split, but I could do crazy pole tricks, all that shit. But I was missing some.
Cardi's been open about regretting her illegal butt enhancements for a while now. And to be honest, it's been pretty clear that her BBL hasn't been delivering the glow up it once did. She's tried to fix it, but reversing that kind of damage, not easy. Allegedly, things got so bad that her booty started to smell. Yeah, you heard that right. Rumor has it the situation turned funky enough that her man at the time, Stefan, ran straight back to his ex and dumped her.
They say Cardi B around here smelling like funky cold Medina. God damn, Cardi. You fuck the booty meat up. Ladies, gentlemen, stop trying to tell these women to get all this BBL shit, bro. Like, your girl gonna be walking around here looking like funky cold Medina, my nigga.
But here's the kicker. Stefan is basically just Offset 2.0. Let's not act like he was some loyal saint. Word is, he's been caught cheating too. He's a known player, and even Young Miami had to bench him because he couldn't keep it in his pants. She straight up kicked him off.
What up, YouTube? This is Getting Radio back at you.
Alright, y'all. Just look at it. We sliding into Get It Radio. So Get It Radio, we got you're talking about loose cannon trying to snitch on an open case. So this is the next segment, y'all. Next segment. Loose cannon is supposed to be snitching on some type of open case. And I think it's about this M. Somebody was about to get robbed or whatever, and they got M. And this is years back. But they saying that loose cannon trying to implicate Whack 100 with this shit.
With another video.
Y'all go follow Get It.
Salute to all of my supporters and anyone watching this video right now. When
y'all go check.
Friends close and your enemy.
It's like you do all this internet thugging shit and acting like you just so turned up, putting it on power rule this, power rule that. Nobody's saying you do nothing. All that cloud chasing shit is don't equal up to real.
Whack and Loose, they act like they had an actual relationship. Before Whack and Loose got together and got cool, I know Loose was hating on Whack. I don't know how Whack felt about Loose. Then they ended up getting cool. Loose goes to jail. Now they hating on each other again.
It's shit, bro. We don't real good time. Like, you have to really start watching your mouth because niggas don't play that. Niggas play for keeps. Like, you talking about let's get down. Nigga, you don't want to get down with the low. And you can put that on power rule.
My nigga Whack 100 said we can get down, my nigga. On power rule, we can get the fuck down, nigga.
Nigga on any dollar. Nigga. You don't want to get down. Nigga with the low. Nigga, know you staring death in his eyes, nigga. That's why you want to run with some coward shit. Oh, let me call Big U. Let me do this. Bitch ass nigga, he don't put you.
So this one Loose and Whack wasn't cool. This one Loose and Whack wasn't cool at all.
He don't put rats. He don't put rat levels.
So what's crazy is he said all this before he got cool with Whack 100.
Quick because they're doing police shit.
That was was around 2023, and in 2024, Loose Cannon was done with Big U and started running with Wack 100. But Wack 100 said he never forgot what Loose Cannon said about him, and said that he always saw him as a snake and that he liked him.
So Getty said, goddamn, y'all check out Getty TV, man. They saying that, you know, Wack basically never. That's one of Wack. That's one of the 48 laws of power. Basically, they said make your enemies work for you. So basically, it's like if you know somebody don't like you, let them work for you. Let them do the dirty work for you.
For 18 months, man, and in this audio, Wack 100 is pretty much breaking down getting his lick back and rocking Loose Cannon to sleep, to the point where he asked Wack 100 to be the godfather of his newborn son. It is interesting. I'm gonna let y'all get to it. Shout out to Wack 100. Shout out to 100 ENT. This is Getty Radio. Let's go.
No, it's Getty Radio. Getty Radio, y'all.
We had said, hey, why Big U trying to put a murder on Loose Cannon? Like what? Yeah, he said something about.
So this the new shit. This the new shit. Money
got
Mike.
nothing to do with that.
Money Mike.
You don't even know them people. Like that don't even make sense. Yeah, but he said it's a video floating. I'm like, yeah, it's video been floating.
I seen the video.
That shit ain't no exclusive shit, but it's floating. You know what he gets. You know what he gets. And he needs that to get to the attorney. So when the charge comes, he can use that, because you yourself just said he's not in the video. We're trying to find the video so I can get it to the attorney so he can fight him, because he's going to catch an ad charge. Okay, so I'll make a couple calls. They go to the video. I'm telling you in the text, this shit don't even make sense that Big U would go there like that, because you know this nigga ain't got nothing to do with this shit. It's just not him, and I don't get it. So I sit back and I wait a couple days. Yo, did they have the charge? No, not yet. Exposures is watching, we don't see nothing. And then guess what I hear them saying a couple days after that on one of their phone calls? Well, you know I'm gonna be out soon. Wait up, you done got denied bond twice.
Yeah, we get denied bond twice. That's why Diddy got the denied bond 3 times. And after the 3rd time, Diddy lawyers then was like, I guess Diddy told her, hey bro, I'm good. Just let me stay in here, bro.
And they talking about they finna add more charges. Keep me, you know you gonna be.
Every time you appeal and try to get bond, you actually got to pay the lawyers more money. So that might be another reason why Diddy just said after the 3rd denial, he just was like, forget it, I'll just sit in here.
Also, if I was to make this nigga think wait a minute. Yo, Sharice, when did Big U tell Loose Cannon this? Because we know that's a lie that they ain't on the same pod. We knew that out the gate, and Brick Baby then blew that up that Big U ain't been around them yet. All they were down getting their blood drawn. Getting their blood drawn. They not finna have both them niggas in the same location like that, getting no motherfucking blood drawn.
So I don't know Wack telling the truth, or I don't know if he's lying, but one thing I will say is, if y'all sworn enemies, they're trying to keep y'all kind of apart in the jail system or whatever. Like they wouldn't put Loose Cannon and Big U in the same. They would probably wouldn't even put them in the same pod together.
I mean, he gonna use the video to turn it into a attorney.
That's why when Loose Cannon and Brick Baby was talking about they were cellmates, they was in the same exact cell. It just sounded like a play to me.
You need to get the attorney to talk to the DA people and tell him he can help solve this, so he know who did this, or let him out, and this is a cold case, open murder case, he can figure out. That's what's happening.
Damn.
Because you can't tell me Big U said he gonna put a murder on him when they was getting their blood drawn, when they ain't been nowhere together getting the blood drawn, and Big U ain't never told him that, or Big U never told him that. What's his reason for wanting to get the video to his attorney? Right. You notice she never addressed it, why she asked me for the video. She never said, well, bitch, you did threaten to put this on. You notice she never addresses that. See, I throw shit out there out of money and make you trick bag yourself. She never addresses the fact that why did you tell Wack that Luke Cannon told you Big U is trying to put a murder on it? Because
so the video that I seen of the actual unaliving of the dude, it don't look like Loose Cannon is in that video. So basically they trying to get this video to, I guess, the prosecutor or to his lawyers. So if they do try to put this case on Loose Cannon, he'll be able to fight this case, because if they got the actual video of the man getting unalive and Loose ain't there, that's a win for Loose.
Minute she says that on the audio, Big U for sure is gonna get wind if that's what it said, and Cannon go at that point in time know he's really exposed. And you already exposed because he didn't know the dumb send me all them text messages about it. So now the street has been alerted. This is possibly trying to work this situation.
Yeah, I heard that action. I'm saying he ain't doing with it. You know, I've been hearing.
I mean, at the end of the day, what I did, I let him run around, let him feel he was what he was. Now I'm gonna show you who everybody is.
Renee Factor, good shit. I ain't gonna hold you. That's chess. That was nice.
Yeah, because what happened if I would have did it early, Ebony, it's expected. But I let him tell the world who he was. And then I just simply showed him who he was.
Cause when you first brought him over, the first time we heard his name, I did my little research and I sent you that little video. You didn't respond. So in my head, I'm like, my bro got it.
Okay, here go to play. Here go to play, right? See, sometimes, bro, when it's shallow, you don't know how deep it is. So, sometimes you gotta really see where this shit really, where it's coming from, where it's going. So, these is, first of all, well, you can't expect a nigga to study something that they don't understand anyway, right? So what I did, this is my right hand, Cuban Rob's close to me too. So I established that with you, right? So you sit back and you say, okay, my immediate team, this is the only thing that plays the music. The rest of these niggas, there's no way to make an introduction to them from him, right? He has no way of being able to approach them and talk about anything. He don't know what to talk about with these niggas. They stone-faced niggas, they don't say nothing, they looking at you. There's none of that, but Cuban Rob does music. Cuban, listen. Give him this DM. I'm gonna holler at him, send me a number. All right, wait, send me a number. Okay, cool. Wait 3 days. I wanna know if he's gonna tell me this. 3 days go by, he don't tell me this. Call it, you're telling me you're a little upset because Wack don't help you with your music. You've been around me forever. You feel like this, that. You wanna f with him, but let's keep it low. And then when your shit get up and blazing, you gonna spin off of me, you gonna ride with him. Boom, he tells me this. I'll wait. When Loose Cannon never brought that back, that my right hand came to him with that, at that point I knew he was a snake and I started lying. I've been lying to him for 8 months. It's all in the poker face.
Hello. Hey, talk that shit, big bro. Shit, yeah.
So don't blame me. Don't blame yourself. You forced me to this extreme. If you
Wack really exposing his hand, because he's telling us like, bruh, I lined the man up. So is he saying he lined him up to get locked up? Because that's the only thing, you don't. If he didn't lose his life, that's the only other way you could have lined him up. That's the only other way he could have got lined up, bro.
Be what you say you are to me. The minute that man come to you, hey, Wack, your man, what. So then this is when it really got funny. Hey, Wack, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, man, you done taught me so much and showed me so much. Oh, yeah, they gave it to you, you gave me these boots. Everybody know who I am now. I want you to be the godfather of my child. Did this nigga think I'm sentimental and emotional? You know what I did? Oh, brother, it's an honor, man. Yeah, it's an honor. But see,
So
man,
Wack just snaked the man. Wack just was like, yeah, I'll be your child's godfather. The whole time, that man setting this man up.
a godparent to a child comes with an action. We ain't babysitting, we ain't sitting a baby about the doctors. We got them free all day. Out of here, nigga. I'm gonna hit you like you hit me just in another minute.
Sharice, the baby mama, Sharice, she said something about some diapers. She was like, Wack ain't never sent a diaper over there. But Wack got upset when she said that on Academic's platform because Wack was like, man, I lost money messing around with Loose Cannon. Like they said they had a $10 million deal and it fell through. It didn't fall through because Loose Cannon wasn't doing his part of the deal.
The way I'm talking back to you, but you get too slow to motherfucker.
I don't know if that's the thing when they talking about the Beauty and the Beast thing. They were supposed to have something called Beauty and the Beast, and it was supposed to be like one of those live shows, like basically like Love and Hip Hop. It was supposed to be like that, but it was supposed to be about Loose and I guess his baby mama or whatever.
Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying it to you about what I'm not doing, but maybe he don't comprehend that language.
Hello.
With some boy that
Sometimes y'all gotta look at people's actions. Look at what they not doing. If you hitting somebody up and they're not hitting you back, bro, look at their actions. Sometimes it's best to fall back. I always say this, fall back like a small back and just and peep the scene. Just look at the scene, see what's going on.
you ain't ready for. You come from manipulating women that are innocent women, right? Who really don't understand your trickery, who have intention on really trying to build, like listening to Gigi. I see what that is. Gigi is a regular, normal female who knows nothing about the pimp or the streets or the I'm just got a job and if I like you and let's build and hey, let's do some things. She got no idea. Like this, doing this. She figured it out. She woke now. But I'm sitting here looking at you. You's a mental midget. And you are what I call a mental midget.
That's a fact.
We're gonna sit back and watch you run around like Tom and Jerry. And when you get back, we're gonna say, hey man, where you been, man? What you been up to all day? We watching what you doing. Oh man, I did this, I did everything you say you did, we know you did. And you know what I'm gonna say, man? Great job, man. I appreciate you, man. I couldn't have made nothing happen without you. They know what you thinking? Yeah, man, I got it, it's working. Hey man, hey, instead of meeting me, I tell you what, instead of meeting me in the driveway, just come on in, man. You know, the door will be open. Cool, yes, you know. Then you walk in. Hey, bro, we down here in the basement. And you come down there in the basement, and everybody you were supposed to go see for me is down there. It's too late. You in the tree bag. I dangled the bone in front of your face. The bone. The light is on, the camera's on. You know what I knew about it? I knew you wasn't from Los Angeles. I stroked your ego, and I knew in order for you to continue your conversation, you had to say any and everything you knew. And when you're in a position where you have nothing else to say, and all you can say is any and everything you know, you're bound to say something you ain't supposed to say.
Come on, man.
I just put the motherfucking knife on the table. You stabbed yourself, cut your own throat. What the fuck? Nigga, Adam didn't cut his throat. Whack, if the knife wouldn't have been on the table, we wouldn't have cut his throat. Then Whack won't.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Whack, he telling you how he's setting you up, bro. Like, he telling you how he making you feel good, stroking your ego, all this. And then the whole time he got to play in the background where he gonna let you hang yourself.
Want him to cut his throat? Absolutely. Can I tell him to cut his throat? No.
Well, when kids just say, I tried to show them the ropes before they hung themselves from a rope. That's what Kenny said.
Right.
On that TVO.
Bro, because I understand who he was, he just didn't understand who I was. And you set your bozo ass down there time and time and time again. I could have been told him, hey bro, stop saying, stop this. I didn't tell him to say it. I didn't tell him to stop saying it. I mean, you thought I forgot about how crazy he was talking about when I didn't even know who the he was? GG said he used to talk about Wack on social media, and Wack texted him one time or DM and said, I don't know you. And he went crazy. It drove him crazy that Wack wouldn't respond to him. He was like intentionally just saying shit about a token.
That's some of the stuff that go on even on YouTube. Like when I do live sometimes, there be people coming in here saying crazy stuff. I'm not even gonna entertain it, bro. I just block you.
It was crazy. He didn't know Wack, but Wack wouldn't respond to it. He had a manager call me and say, can we pay you for you to respond to this diss song he did on you? I said, bro, what is this? You know, man, you want to pay me to he's a gang member. So once you came, he came bearing gifts. What you got? Oh, you want it? So man, wait, what you say? Who? Big you? Oh, that right. You know some shit? Yeah, oh, okay. You want to talk about what you know? I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to platform, brother, I'll look out for you. Brother, I'll look out for you, brother.
So you basically let Loose Cannon just crash out on Big U, on No Jumper, on Academics page, and whoever else he went to go talk to on the internet. He just let the man crash out on his own. And that's what you gotta do sometimes, bro. Like when people hating on you and stuff like that, I'm just being honest, like bro, you wanna crash out, go ahead on and crash out, bro. I'm gonna let you do that. I'll let you do that. I'll let you have that. You crash out, bro. Go ahead. Knock yourself out, bro. But it 10 times out of 10, it never end up good.
I bet you, when he came at me to come on No Jumper, and came at me to pay me for No Jumper, what you think I told him? Don't worry about it, this one on me. Anything else we do, we'll work it out, but No Jumpers on me. You know why I told him that? Because I know for a fact, I know you a snake. You can't accept no money to go on No Jumper, right? That's how this works. So I'm gonna let you come on No Jumper. That'll be brother G. Take that weapon, you can't use that later on. Hey man, can I get on Academics? Man, I might cost you a little bit, man. I don't know, bro.
Look at him.
But I tell you what,
look at him.
Not making Academics thing. You want?
Look at him, bro. This man here crazy, bro. Like y'all gotta be careful who y'all dealing with in these streets, bro. Some of these people, they know how to pull certain strings out of people, bro, to make shit happen. And that's why Loose Cannon is in jail. That's why Big U in jail, and that's why Brick Baby in jail. They pulled the strings and they let them run around as long as they wanted to run around, and then when it was time for the chicken to come home to roost, that's exactly what happened.
They do a 90-day run for you, and I cross-promote. I personally would go Clubhouse and talk about your reality show, this. All right, pay me this.
The reality show, I just told y'all about that. Beauty and the Beast.
And you know what?
And they might not have been able to use that name anyway because intellectually, that's I think that is owned by Disney, Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if y'all watched the Cat Williams interview on Club Shay Shay. He said when he first came out, he was the cat in the hat. And he said Disney came out and gave him a cease and desist letter and said he couldn't be the cat in the hat. So that's when he just changed his name to Cat Williams. Well, he just used his real name, Cat Williams.
He couldn't send me. I'll get you up here. Let me figure it out. So what he thinking? I got this. Oh no, you ain't got me. I've got me AI humanoid that's going to go cut his own throat and slander Big U's name. The crazy part about it is, the dumbass, when he first goes to jail, he got his bitch call me, hey, what? Loose Cannon want to know why you telling everybody you was lying about the meat meal stuff and all this stuff. I said, no, Sharice, tell him that I'm telling the world that he's lying, so they'll think he's lying about everything else he said. Get it? She said, oh, you don't go ahead. That shit on the wiretap. Because you talking about, I don't throw the booty pad. And I sat there, heartbeat watching me. She said, nigga, you are dangerous.
Hello.
They want to play the motherfucking game. The craziest thing he did, I said, R&B. I said, if he's smart, he take the high road with me and say, man, I look at Wack as a hunk, I don't know what's going on. Maybe we've been compromised.
Well, Wack know how to trick somebody, bro. Like, I'm talking about, boy, that nigga, hey, he know how to run a narrative, dog.
You know, maybe it's my wife tripping, I'm in jail. I said, if he's smart, that's the role he takes. But if he's the dummy I know him to be, he's gonna start saying, you're not like that. You're not this. It's too many motherfucking interviews where you praising what Wack is like. Niggas is looking at you crazy as a motherfucker. Huh? I said, he fucked this up. He should have took the high road. That's what I wanted him to do. So now, anything that comes out of his mouth is like, you be quiet. You say that about everybody.
All right, we gonna leave it right.
So yeah, we going to the next video, see what they talking about on
Combs has pleaded not guilty to.
Alright, so this Law and Crime, basically, it's a little short video, next segment in the Freestyle Fanaticz podcast. We're gonna talk about this first day of Diddy. That was Monday, so it's Thursday now. We 4 days in. The first 3 days they was picking the jury. Today they didn't do anything. So tomorrow the jury probably will be picked tomorrow in the P. Diddy trial.
Multiple charges, including sex trafficking, and has denied all civil allegations against him.
Most people don't realize that the people who scream, I'm innocent, the loudest are the ones who start sweating the moment they hit the courtroom. Well, welcome to Diddy's day one. And folks, it's already a circus.
Now, sources say Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, will be a central witness during the trial. Now,
so we know Cassie is going to basically testify. But the thing about that is, it has been some star witnesses, because I think they have three star witnesses. I know one of the star witnesses was a woman, and she's not, she basically backed out of it. She was like, she didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And they subpoenaed her. When they subpoena you, you have to come. And the judge was like, well, if she don't want to come, she ain't got to come, which is kind of weird, but...
Sources also tell CNN other witnesses expected to testify include his former sexual partners, a business associate, and a male sex worker.
I'm trying to figure out what if all the star witnesses, so we down to two now, we down to 2 star witnesses. What if Cassie don't my bad, I ain't gonna do that. But what if Cassie doesn't testify? What if? Let's just say Cassie say, man, you know what? The man gave me tens of millions of dollars. I'm gonna let it go. She might do that she could if she wanted to, but let's just see, y'all. We'll see Monday.
So today marks the explosive beginning of the federal trial of Sean P. Diddy Combs. And what went down inside the Manhattan courtroom is something you need to hear to believe. From the jury chaos to celebrity name drops and a nervous Diddy trying to hold it together, we've got every wild, dramatic, and downright disturbing detail from inside the courtroom. Now, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And now, let's unpack the madness.
Can you just put into perspective how significant this case is?
This is a very, very significant case. I like to akin this to, this is the Gen Z's, I guess, version of
OJ. Before she even said it, I ain't even heard this yet. I'm gonna say it for her, OJ Simpson.
O.J. Simpson trial.
Wow.
I was in 5th grade whenever the O.J. verdict came out, and I remember my teacher stopping trial, for stopping the court, stopping our courtroom just for us to figure out like what's going on. We got to figure out what's happening with this verdict. What's different in this particular case than the O.J. Simpson trials is that this is not going to be live streamed.
Yeah.
You know, in federal court, you can't live stream.
So it's the feds, y'all. We ain't gonna be able to see what's going on. We're gonna see a bunch of drawings of Diddy with gray hair, probably some turtlenecks on, some nice suits. But this ain't the O.J. Simpson trial. O.J. Simpson trial was a state trial. So they was able to actually bring cameras in the courtroom and let everybody see. That's why when they said he was not guilty, the whole world was waiting to hear the actual verdict of what was going to happen in the O.J. Simpson trial. Diddy trial, no cameras in the courtroom. So basically, we're going to have to go off of people that actually went to the actual trial and got inside of the courtroom.
Any type of court at all, you can't live stream any trials, and so your audience is really going to have.
And it's going to be, you're going to have to move heaven and hell damn near if you're just a regular person and you going up there, because they're going to have every CBS, NBC, ABC. They're going to have court TV, all these folks, law and crime, everybody going to be in the courtroom waiting like they're going to have somebody in there. So if you're just a regular Joe Schmo, you might be on the outside of the courtroom just listening to people coming out telling you information.
Focus on how CNN is kind of letting them know how the trial is progressing, but it's extremely significant, yeah.
Let's start with what's on the table. Sean Diddy Combs is facing heavy-duty federal charges. We're talking sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation for the purpose of prostitution. Yeah, like, this isn't some light stuff. These are charges straight out of the RICO playbook. Now, this is...
All right, y'all. Word to the wise. To my guys out here flying these women from different cities and all this stuff like that, they can actually get you with a trafficking charge. Depends on how things go down, and if a female wanna, buck on you and say different things in that nature or whatever, I could fly a woman from California to Atlanta right now, and she could buck on me, and then they could get me for a S trafficking charge.
Just some scandal. This is federal court with real prison time on the line. We're talking decades, possibly his entire life. Well, the courtroom, it was packed and the energy was tense. The stakes are absolutely high. And Diddy strutted in wearing a navy blue pullover and a white collared shirt, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. At one point, he even requested a bathroom break, and it got denied. It's real when even your lab.
They said you can't. They said Diddy tried to use the bathroom, couldn't even use the bathroom, bro.
Doesn't get mercy.
Come down to the courtroom sketches, to what you hear from maybe witnesses choose to speak after.
That's what I just said. We're gonna be looking at courtroom sketches, and we're gonna be listening to what people actually in the courtroom actually heard. We're gonna have to, especially this whole case, we gotta play telephone, y'all. We gotta go on what the people that's on the inside said. We got to go on what the people on the inside of the court say, because we don't know. We're not in there.
We'll see. Look, as a prosecutor, when you approach a high-profile case like this, how is preparation different from one that might be a little bit more out of the spotlight?
They have to prepare because they cannot make any mistakes.
Yeah.
This elite all-women prosecution team, they've got to make sure that all their ducks are in a row. This is either a make your career type of case, or this is a break your career type of case. So they're going to be prepared. I think they've been working on this case for at least a year now. They are prepared with their evidence. They're prepared with their witnesses. They've probably spoken to their witnesses at least 2 to 3 times to make sure that every I is dotted and every T has been crossed.
So here is when things got wild. Nearly 600 potential jurors had to fill out questionnaires. 600. This isn't a jury, it's a small army. And what were they being asked? Oh, just if they knew people like Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Kid Cudi, Kanye West. Excuse me? Are we...
Combs has pleaded not guilty on these 2 with resumes.
Spoken to their witnesses at least 2 to 3 times to make sure.
They saying Kanye West and all of them in this, bro.
That every I is dotted and every T has been crossed.
So here is where things got wild. Nearly 600 potential jurors had to fill out questionnaires. 600. This isn't a jury, it's a small army. And what were they being asked? Oh, just if they knew people like Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Kid Cudi, Kanye West. Excuse?
Michael B. Jordan. Where the hell Mike Myers coming this at? Mike Myers? I didn't even know Mike Myers. Well, they did have something went on. In one of the movies, Mike Myers was hanging off a ledge. And I think his pants was coming down, and on his cheek, it was a tattoo, and it said Diddy did it. And this is facts, y'all. Y'all go back and see exactly what I'm talking about. These are facts.
Are we selecting a jury or booking the next Grammy Awards or something? Why all the celebrity roll calls? Because prosecutors believe these names and many more will come up during trial. That alone tells you how deep this rabbit trail goes. Some jurors were immediately dismissed. Why? Because they'd already seen the video. The video that allegedly shows Diddy assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
So, during the jury process, that was one of the questions that they asked the jury. Did you see the video that was put out on the news about Diddy beating Cassie? And I'm pretty sure if it was 600 jurors that they had to go through, I'm sure 550 of them seen that video.
Hotel hallway. Yeah, that video. The one that mysteriously leaked right before the feds raided his home.
And that might be just a low number. I might be lowballing it, but I'm sure, bro, everybody's seeing this stuff, bro. This was on national news, bro. This was the topic of last year, bro. This was the biggest, besides the Cat Williams interview, this was the biggest thing that happened last year. I don't care if Lil Durk, all of them got locked up. This supersedes all of that, bro.
And you talked about the prosecution team, high-profile case, high-profile defendant, high-profile defense attorneys too, with resumes that include defending Martin Shkreli, the Pharma Bro, Young Thug, and more. On the defense side of things, does that experience actually make a difference in a case like this? And if so, how?
I think it does.
Yeah.
What the defense has done recently is bringing in a pinch hitter by the name of Brian Steele. You just mentioned the Young Thug trial. He was the lead defense attorney there. What the defense is trying to do is throw wrenches in anything that the prosecution is going to lay out. Any evidence they have, they want to try and misconstrue, throw out red herrings, throw out red flags, so the jurors aren't actually focused on the real evidence. And so their experience is actually very, very important. And so if they can get one juror to kind of look the other way and not look at this case the way the prosecution wants it to be, that's very beneficial for the defense side.
Now let's talk about witnesses. And by that, I mean Cassie Ventura, the ex-girlfriend and the central figure in many of these allegations. She's expected to testify, and not anonymously.
Like I said, her key word, bro. Y'all gotta see. I love the English language. I love the English language. What she just said. Hold on.
Now let's talk about witnesses. And by that, I mean Cassie Ventura, the ex-girlfriend and the central figure in many of these allegations. She's expected to testify, and not...
Keyword, expected. What if she just said, nah, I ain't, I'm good. The man that gave me We don't know how much money he gave her. I think it was an NDA on that, non-disclosure agreement on that. He might have gave her $50, $60 million. She might be like, you know what? I got my money. I'm good. I ain't gonna waste my time with this. And she got a young child. She might not even want to be a part of this. But she's one of the key pieces because she's in the actual court case. They gonna show the video with her and him down at the hotel in LA and all that. All that right there is coming down the pipeline, fam. It's coming down, Charlotte.
Anonymously, under her full name. That's honestly courage right there, because she's going to face an army of lawyers and Diddy's high-powered legal team. Remember, Cassie already filed a 2023 lawsuit accusing Diddy of sexual abuse.
The reason why I think she will testify and won't back out is because she put her real name in the court proceedings. The other two witnesses, they are basically like Jane Doe.
Control and
the star witnesses.
Incident involving a car explosion after Kid Cudi allegedly refused to work with her or help her. Actually, she went to him in hiding after he beat her up. I'm like a car explosion, guys. Like I'm not making this up. This isn't a. This isn't.
They say that Diddy. I mean, not Diddy. Yeah, Diddy. They say he found out about Kid Cudi dating Cassie, and all of a sudden, Kid Cudi car blows up. What y'all think? What y'all think? Y'all think he had something to do with that? Because it's just like, I get mad at a dude for talking to my girl. It's almost like the Mo3 thing. About him messing with the dude, baby mama. Then 5 years later, Yellow Beast had something to do with it.
Some TV drama is not just a Netflix thing, but literally a car blew up after she went to him for safety. And it's all because she claims that Diddy is the one that did it, and Kid Cudi backs her up with it.
And you know, obviously the nature of this case is a very...
What if Kid Cudi would have been in the car and crunked the car up and the car blew up? Just think about this, y'all. You gotta think about some of this stuff, bro. Diddy probably would have been in jail. He would have been in jail for M. Maybe M for hire.
The sensitive one, especially for the alleged victims here as well. And not all of the witnesses coming forward have chosen to use their names as part of their testimony. But Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend, is choosing to testify under her own name. What is the significance of that, I guess, from a prosecutorial standpoint, but also just in general? What is the significance of that?
She's ready to have her day in court.
Yeah.
She's ready to let everybody know, not just Diddy, but to let the world know what happened to her. When you are uncloaking that veil and when you are actually presenting your true self in front of jurors, in front of the world, it means that you mean business. And that's great for the prosecution. When you have a victim, when you have a survivor that's decided, I'm actually going to come out here and I'm going to tell you my name, it's because I'm ready for whatever the defense is going to show.
And now prosecutors are bringing in surveillance footage from 2016, showing what they claim is Combs physically assaulting Cassie at a Los Angeles hotel. I mean, we all saw it. It's not just a claim. The receipts are there. They're good. As far as we're concerned, as far as the evidence for the prosecutors, but it's not looking good for Diddy. Now, his team tried to get this thrown out because it originally went to CNN, and they claimed that it was edited in order to make it look worse than what it was. And that,
bruh, you can't edit, like, they must have had AI or something to edit that video, because that video, it didn't look good, bro. That video was horrible, bro. What he did to that woman, picking up a vase and throwing it at her head. He tried to field goal punt her head, like all of these kind of things, like, bro, like, I honestly didn't need to go to jail for that right there, honestly. He definitely need to go to jail, at least for the Cassie beat. You need to go to jail for that, bro. Because if you would have did my daughter like that, I might have been walking in jail like old boy that did what he did last week.
the original was destroyed. Well, CNN clapped back and say, no, the original wasn't destroyed. We have it unedited. We just put out, edited version because of the length of it and blah, blah, blah. But that's something that they have been trying to fight to not include. Like literally trying to act as though he did not do it. After he actually apologized. They made a whole apology video about the incident. I mean, we all...
That's going to hurt him in court, too, the apology video. Like, if you didn't do it, why are you apologizing, sir? Help me make it make sense, sir. If you didn't do it, and you paid her, why you come out and apologize? First you say it's a lie. First everybody was trying to say Cassie was lying, bro. Then when the tape come out mysteriously, oh, I'm sorry now. Like,
so how grotesque.
Help me make this shit make sense.
These are the tactics that lawyers are going to use to save their client, no matter how disgusting and abhorrent they actually are.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do
it.
They
say, nigga, your whole life was dark. The hell is you talking about?
I was fucked up.
You fucked up now. You in MDC. You real fucked up now. You fighting for your life.
I mean, I hit rock bottom.
Bro, you thought you hit rock bottom then? Bro, if you hit rock bottom then, nigga, now, you in the underworld. You're in the sewer system. So you're like a Ninja Turtle right now. You in MDC and can't get out, bro. You like a Ninja Turtle. And you might have to turn into Master Splinter to kind of scave up out this thing. But if you don't turn into Master Splinter, yeah, you might have to do a kamikaze mission, bro.
No excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take the full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
All this stuff started when Diddy sued Diageo. When he sued Diageo, and he was saying that they were the R word against our skin color, and it looked like he was picking up traction, that's when they came for him. Y'all gotta remember, when y'all dealing with alcohol and stuff like that, that's the feds, bro. ATL. That's the first word, the first acronym of the word of ATF is alcohol. Second word, tobacco. F is firearms. Now they found Diddy with firearms too. Now they got him with some AK-47s with serial numbers knocked out. You can't do that either.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. Now I'm going to therapy, I'm going to rehab. Had asked God for His mercy and grace.
Hold on,
so sorry.
One second.
I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Now this trial is bigger than Diddy. It's about power, money, and what happens when someone who's been untouchable for years finally gets touched by the law. It's a wake-up call to celebrity culture. No amount of fame, money, or PR teams can stop the truth from dragging you into the light. If found guilty, Diddy is looking at life, not a slap on the wrist, not probation, life. The prosecution is going all in, and the fact that he turned down a final plea deal on May 1st, I mean, it's bold or a desperate gamble. I don't know. We have to see.
Now, while the witness list has not been made public by the court, sources have given me an indication.
So we don't know who all the witnesses are. We know Cassie is one, like the main star witness. She might be one. 2 and 3, we don't know. Do y'all think that, get in the comment section, do y'all feel like Diddy should have had took the plea deal. Because a lot of people are saying if you would have just took the plea deal, he probably would have been a lot better off and he wouldn't have had to, do all this fighting in court. But I think what P. Diddy, same thing, what's his name? Big U gotta do. The stuff that Big U was facing, he can't. The plea deal they gonna give him, he'll probably die in jail. So Diddy is the same way. Diddy, basically, he gonna have to fight this. But he could have took the deal. I don't know how many years the deal was. It might have been 15 years. He might have been 70-some years when he got out. 70-some years old, almost 80 when he get out. But, yeah.
Of some of the individuals that we may see take the stand during this trial. Cassie Ventura, who is the ex-girlfriend of Sean Combs and the musician, she is going to be the star witness in this case. Now, Cassie Ventura is the only alleged victim who has decided to testify under her real name, but the judge has allowed other alleged victims to testify under pseudonyms so that their identity will be protected. I hear that in addition to Cassie Ventura, the government has 3 other key witnesses. So a total of 4 key witnesses who will take the stand to discuss their allegations against.
So they say it's 4 key witnesses. 4 key witnesses, 1 already dropped. We know 1 is Cassie, and we got 2 that are Jane Doe's.
Now, a key takeaway from day one is that this is not going to be some open and shut trial. This is a deep dive into the dark side of celebrity and a brutal peeling back of the image to expose what's underneath. And even if
there's a lot of people caught up in this thing. They say that's why LeBron James didn't go to the Met Gala. They were saying that LeBron James was supposed to be like a host of the Met Gala or something like that. He was supposed to be like the main one out there, and he had just lost Game 5 to Ant-Man and them. And they said that basically the reason why LeBron didn't show up to the Met Gala because he said he was hurt. But other stuff has come out and they say that basically LeBron James was partying up until 4 o'clock that morning after they lost. So who's to say that maybe LeBron James didn't want to be in New York dealing with that? Because he's going to have to answer a lot of questions.
Well, what's alleged turns out to be true. Diddy won't just be canceled, he'll be convicted.
Now, of course, there will also be corroborating witnesses.
I know y'all all heard him say it. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. I know y'all heard him say it.
Who take the stand either to corroborate some of those other key witnesses or to add some relevant information. I'm hearing that one of those supporting witnesses will be a friend of Cassie Ventura's. I'm hearing that another one of those witnesses will be a male sex worker, and I hear from the source that it's possible
the male sex worker might be Jonathan Otto or whatever. He basically came out in I think it was 2018, and they interviewed him, and the police were looking at him like he had 3 heads. He was saying that Diddy was running S trafficking, and he was an S slave and all this other stuff, and it got to the point where the police looking at him like, bro, what are you talking about? He's saying Rick Ross is like this, DJ Khaled like this, but at the end of the day, bro, what goes around comes around, and what's done in the dark will come to the light. And now we're seeing that the chickens again have came home to roost.
Additional male sex workers may also take the stand. Now, at the center of the government's case in the indictment, they said are these so-called freak-offs, which the government has described essentially as drug-fueled sex parties where Combs and others allegedly forced women into sex acts, oftentimes with male sex workers. So that could possibly give some indication of the testimony that we may hear from that sex worker. Now, this trial is anticipated to run up to 2 months. Sean Combs faces 5 different charges, including racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And remember, Combs is also facing more than 60 civil suits. Those civil suits are completely separate from this criminal case, but I do hear that many of the civil accusers who have already come forward with civil claims against Combs will be testifying in this trial.
Okay, so to recap, day one was everything we expected and more. Jury selection, chaos.
Hold on, let's run it.
With civil claims against Combs, the civil suits are completely separate from trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. And remember, Combs is also facing more than 60 civil suits. Those civil suits are completely separate from this criminal case, but I do hear that many of the civil accusers who have already come forward with civil claims against Combs will be testifying in this trial.
Okay, so to recap, day one was...
So they saying that the people that's in the civil case is going to be able... That's why everybody keeps trying to tell Shannon Sharp he need to like kind of just chill out, because, bro, this civil now, bro, it could turn criminal. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah.
Everything we expected and more. Jury selection, chaos, a laundry list of celebrity connections that we did not expect, and bombshell evidence waiting to be unsealed. And a visibly unraveling Diddy trying to act calm while the walls are closing in. And trust me, this is only the beginning. Opening statements are expected May 12th. And from there, it's going to be full throttle. We'll be here for every explosive detail. So make sure you guys are subscribed, hit the notification bell. I will see you very soon.
Crazy. All right, y'all, we're going to the next segment. I don't even know what it is. Okay. So this one right here is about Rodney Hinton. Rodney Hinton, I don't know if y'all know, it's a case where some, law enforcement, they unalived his son, and the next day he just picked out a random officer and took them out of here. Man, y'all get in the comment section and let me know, like, how you feel about this whole case, how it went down. And do y'all have sympathy for him, or are y'all on the side of law enforcement? Just get in the comment section and let me know exactly how you feel about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody said Drake is gonna sue if you lose. Bro, why y'all playing with my boy Drizzy like that, man? I'm fucking playing with Drake. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, there's this, so I heard about this story. Apparently there's this guy. His son gets killed by the cops. I guess they were in a stolen vehicle or something like that. His son hopped out of the vehicle or whatever, was running, and police somehow killed him. I'm guessing the police probably thought he had a weapon, or he did have a weapon. Anyway, a couple days after, the father basically killed the cop. And that was the retaliation. He's like, you got my son, you're getting got. However, he showed up to court because he was arrested for murder. And his demeanor was very pronounced. Check this out. I think this is the original situation. This is the guy who killed the cop. You gotta imagine, so many people were cops. Because cops stay with cops.
Chaos at court as a man accused of killing a sheriff's deputy a day after his son was shot by a police officer asked to be released on bail. I lay out the horrific chain of events out of Ohio and where the case could be heading.
Are you familiar with
He wasn't gonna get bail, but a lot of people looking at it like if it was their kid that was unalive, some people looking at it like shit, they would have did the same thing. But I'm not here to incite any type of violence or anything like that. But you pointed towards the actual person. But I know it's a machine, but I'm not going to say too much on that. I'm going to leave that alone.
Of someone that is not in their right mind when they commit a criminal act.
I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is fanaticz. Before I get into this case out of Ohio, I want to talk a little bit about true crime news and law and crime merch. The law and crime document named Rodney Hinton Jr. deliberately drove his vehicle into Henderson at this intersection. Deputy Henderson was rushed to the local trauma center, but there was nothing that could be done to save him. Within hours, he passed away from these devastating injuries. You're probably asking yourself, why would anybody deliberately drive a vehicle into somebody, much less a sheriff's deputy who was directing traffic at a college graduation? Well, police say Rodney Hinton Jr. did this on purpose, possibly to avenge the death of his son, Ryan Hinton. Ryan Hinton was 18 years old, and a day earlier, a Cincinnati police officer shot and killed him after encountering him and some others in a car that had been reported stolen out of Kentucky. Here's the police chief.
Officers across the country confront dangerous situations every day, sometimes more than once a day. They are often compelled to make split-second decisions to protect others and themselves when faced with immediate threats. Yesterday was one of those occurrences. Let me be very direct. We cannot allow individuals to flee from officers with a loaded firearm aimed at them. When this happens, the outcome is almost always tragic. No one wins, and everyone involved is affected. Police chief.
I want to see the video though. I want to see the body cam footage if it was actually on at the time. I want to see what happened when the young man ran from the deputy. I would love to see that video so people can actually make a clear and precise decision on, the whole scope of everything that's going on.
Teresa Fiji outlined what occurred. It's something the Cincinnati Police Department does within 24 hours of an officer-involved shooting taking place.
Where the incident occurred is at the dead end of the parking lot back here. You'll see vehicles there now. You'll see a photo of the stolen car that we're going to talk about was backed into a parking spot back there. As you can see, this is a stolen Kia, stolen out of northern Kentucky yesterday.
How we know it's stolen?
You can see we have two uniformed cars there. Prior to those uniformed cars arriving.
And you know what's crazy is, his homeboys could have took that car or whatever. Now, if he had a firearm on him or not, he might have just been getting a ride, and the police pull up behind them, and he might have had the pistol on him and was scared and ran. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say what happened with that, though?
We had two undercover cars that pulled into that dead end, saw the vehicle. They backed out. They saw that there were individuals inside the vehicle, so they backed out and let the uniformed cars make the approach, which is the tactically sound decision to do. The cars are positioned the way the officers are trained. We are trained to use our vehicles as cover from any threat. That's what those officers did with the cars at that time.
Chief Fiji then played a short portion of the body camera footage.
This is body-worn camera from officer number 2. Go ahead, Bobby.
See, I wish I would have had downloaded the I downloaded the MP3. I should have downloaded the MP4 so I could have seen what was going on.
This is the body camera footage from the officer who actually shot Ryan Hinton.
This is the other officer, the one who fires the shot. This is his body camera as he approaches the scene.
All right, let's go talk about that. So it's a stolen car. It's Officer Ryan Hinton. City Fire.
Another news tonight, Cincinnati police are sharing body camera video of the moments that led to an officer-involved shooting and killing of a suspect in East Price Hill.
And WLWT News 5's Danielle Dindak has been leading the way on this investigation for us. She's live right now, walking us through the video. Hi, Danielle.
Hi there, Mike. This video is very fast. We're talking about 6 seconds. 6 seconds from the time that officer got out of his vehicle and fired those shots. I do want to warn you, what you're about to watch could be hard to see.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna come on your line, on your line.
In a matter of seconds, it all began with a stolen vehicle, a Kia from Edgewood, Kentucky. GPS tracking led the investigation here, a condo complex in East Price Hill. Officers arrived, and Chief Terry Fiji explains what happened next.
All four individuals get out and start running. Some in different directions. The officers decide which individual they're going to pursue. One officer decides to pursue the individual who we now know had a firearm in his hand.
At some point, the person with the gun slips.
They heard the metal from the firearm hit the concrete. This individual gets up, still has the firearm in his hand, and continues to run through the dumpster.
The officer who fired the shots was chasing another suspect before he made contact with the armed suspect.
The officer did just...
Rounds were...
Let me be very direct.
Stolen Kia.
Alright, so anyway, that happened and then, watch that.
And the uniformed
Sheriff's office, but they were out of
ballistics. We left out of the police chief's office, and a few hours later, I was made aware that Rodney had an incident with a police officer that resulted in the officer's death. But again, we are here.
A lot of people saying it's an eye for an eye, bro. A lot of people saying eye for eye.
Because we represent the estate and the police involved shooting.
Rodney Hinton left the meeting with the police chief, and sometime after that is when police said he intentionally drove his vehicle into Deputy Larry Henderson. A probable cause affidavit states a Hamilton County Sheriff's Office deputy was standing on the sidewalk at the corner of the intersection outside of the lanes of travel where he was engaged in traffic control. The deputy was wearing a uniform and a fluorescent traffic vest. Based on witness statements and evidence of...
Alright, they get deep into the woods with this. Chat. I will be honest with you. If the police killed someone's child and they felt that it was unfair enough, even without much information or not, and they wanted to go rob for their child, you gotta just chalk it up to them. It looks like the officers and the police are kind of like the reasons why they had cause to kill this guy. If anything, I think it works in the opposite way. The father probably has cause.
I mean, I can definitely agree with him on that. I don't agree with everything Act say, but on that point, I can agree with Act on that. You got to look at it from both sides of the spectrum. You got to look at it from the police side, the law enforcement side, and then you got to look at it from the person who lost his son. You got to look at it from his side also. It's almost like, I don't even want to get into that one, but yeah.
Him on why he killed an officer because he felt they were responsible for his.
At the scene, the defendant drove across oncoming lanes of traffic through the intersection and directly at the deputy, who was struck by the vehicle, causing injuries to the deputy. That intersection near the University of Cincinnati's campus has flowers and blue ribbons decorated in memory and in honor of Larry Henderson, a man who was simply working a detail directing traffic for the University of Cincinnati's graduation. He worked at a different agency, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, than the police officer who shot Ryan Hinton. Larry Henderson had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to Ryan Hinton. On Monday, Ryan Hinton's family stood with
that officer didn't have nothing to do with it, but that dad, he just lost his son the day before, and he, you know, it's just like, you know, he wasn't thinking. He definitely wasn't thinking, y'all. He was not thinking. Yeah. He was dead set on getting revenge for his son. That's, I mean, being a father to 2 children, I could definitely feel the man's pain. I could definitely feel the pain. I got 2 kids, so if the police just took my children out of here for no reason, I'm not gonna say for no reason, but if they took them out of here, I'm not gonna be jumping up and down and doing jumping jacks the next day like I'm happy. You know, that's what we're not doing.
Distancing themselves from what Ryan's father is accused of doing, intentionally murdering Deputy Henderson.
We're here because we represent the estate of Ryan. We're not here to...
The point what I was trying to say is that when it comes to like this, I think there's a lot of people who have empathy for him. He's like a Luigi Mangione type of person. We're not gonna agree with exactly what he did, but we understand the sentiment behind it to say we're sick of certain shit, certain entities concealing crimes, doing what they want to do. No one's having any type of repercussions or act or consequential actions to their thoughts or whatever they do. But then you see someone who is on that, right? Like I believe that this guy, I don't think he had much thought to, but I think people can identify with him because he is a father wanting to get to know his kid, get to raise his kid, and then his kid gets killed, and now he kind of becomes radicalized, or he says, I bet, an eye for eye. You know what I'm saying?
After court resumed, with Hinton's lawyer asking for bail for him and entering a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Judge, I'm going to waive probable cause that we're going to be in acquainted with the case. I'm waiving probable cause.
Thank you so much. And
this thing of body language is being lying, right? How is this thing involved? He must have had that kid when he was like 13. What the fuck? This thing is just giving lion energy. This is how you dope.
Is there a plea this morning?
There's a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Plea of not guilty? Will you enter a plea of not guilty? And thank you. And as to bond, the state has requested a hearing on the issue of bond or bail. You may be aware of that.
I am aware of that.
Who would like to proceed?
I will proceed, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, a detective testified about what happened that day.
Tell me what he did after he stopped.
So based on witness statements as well as the video, the vehicle accelerated quickly, proceeded eastbound, crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic when there was no longer traffic to obstruct his travel, crossed into the...
So, you know, I'm not going to show you every single thing, but like, the main premise is this. They found his son in a stolen vehicle. They chased his son. He was supposed to be, you know, killed his son because they believe he had a weapon. I don't know if he had a weapon on him, maybe he probably did. The mere fact we haven't heard that about his storyline, right? Okay, the father is mad that his son got killed within like 2-3 days. He basically drives his vehicle into a situation or to run over a person who would was a cop. So he wanted to get his get back. You know what I mean? Now I don't think he killed the cop that killed his son. But in his mind, he felt he got a cop back for his vehicle.
The oncoming lanes of traffic went to the left of those little stanchions that are in the middle of the roadway, into the oncoming lanes, through the intersection.
My audio is low.
Where Deputy Henderson was standing. He struck Deputy Henderson, man the metal utility pole on the northeast corner of the intersection.
Okay. Were there any evidence of skid marks?
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to brake, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson.
And is that the conclusion that our accident reconstructionists have come to at this point?
At this time, yes.
Okay. And does it appear from your review of the video that he headed straight for Deputy Henderson?
Yes.
And did any of the multiple witnesses that you spoke to and the people that were in the vehicles that were surrounding him, the people that were on scene, did anyone indicate that any attempt to slow down or deviate his path straight to Deputy Henderson?
No, everybody said that the accelerator was traveling at a high rate of speed all the way up until the time that he struck Deputy Henderson.
The way this man walked, like when they, whatever, I guess I think he had a fine hand or something. But when he walked, he looked at every police officer in their eyes. Had his head up, chest out. Like, this is what goes down. That's what it looked like when he walked out the courtroom.
Okay. And when he struck Deputy Henderson, was the deputy injured?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened after he struck Deputy Henderson?
Deputy Henderson was launched several feet through the air. He came to rest in a turn lane several feet from where the collision occurred.
Rodney Hitton's defense attorney then questioned the detective.
Just first of all, I would like to offer on behalf of the Hinton family and myself, prayers to the Hinton family, prayers to the family of Larry Henderson, the fallen deputy, and I thank the court for having a fair assembly in the courtroom today. With that, I'd like to ask you a few questions, not a lot, okay?
Now, here's the thing, and this is kind of like a race debate as well, because we see most of the police officers, they seem to be white. Some people also kind of, you haven't heard what he's saying, but people are like, oh, well, he's probably crashed out because, the people who have done this to him are, of a different skin color, and, if he was white, because people think about Louis and the own shit, even though that was racial, they're like, yo, when white people get into these situations where they're basically doing a murder to prove a point or to stand for some other shit that's bigger than just them, they get a bunch of people on the cash apps or not really.
That's true though. The dude that unalived the CEO of the insurance company in New York, like a lot of people, they're favorable toward that man. And when it comes to someone's child getting unalived, it's like a lot of people are unfavorable of that, of the actions that he took. But for me, I'm just like this, bro. Hey, y'all gotta stop playing with these people's children, police. I'm just gonna tell you like this, we ain't gonna say police, we'll just say law enforcement. Law enforcement. Y'all have to teach officers coming in. Because I know everybody that works for every job is not gonna be good. And everybody that works for every job is not gonna be bad. You're gonna have good officers, you're gonna have bad officers. But even in that, you gotta weed them out. You have to have a vetting process. It's crazy because I love to see videos where law enforcement, I just seen one the other day where the lady was stealing out the stove to feed her grandkids. And instead of the officer locking her up, I think they gave her like, they came and brought groceries for the kids. Like, see, stuff like that, I can rock with that, bro. I can rock with that all the way. You see the lady stealing, she was stealing some eggs bro, some eggs, my nigga, to feed her grandchildren, bro. And the officer, and it was a white man, bro, so we can't say, you know, but what I will say is, he had enough of a heart to say, you know what, I'm not gonna lock this woman up. She's stealing to feed children, bro. That's how bad it has gotten in this country, man. We're stealing eggs to feed our babies, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. And the officer had a heart to say, I'm not gonna lock the lady up. I'm finna go take some groceries to her babies. You know, we don't see this every day. We don't see this every day. But it does happen. It's people out here that actually has a heart, bro. It's people out here that actually cares. It's people out here that actually have sympathy for people, bro. He could have came to work that day. Oh, I'm gonna lock up whoever the hell I want. He could have shot the lady and killed over some eggs. But get what? He said, no, we ain't going that route. She's stealing to feed her grandbabies. You know what? I take this one on the chin as an officer. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm coming to your house after I get off, and I'm bringing groceries to your house to feed your family. I commend the officer, and I commend the granny, because the granny, they wouldn't even know that the kids weren't even able to be fed unless she actually stole the eggs. Am I right or am I wrong? So she going out to try to get this for the children, and the actual officer said, you know what, I got a heart for this woman, bro. I'm not gonna send her to jail. If he sent her to jail, then what's gonna happen to the grandkids? They go to DFACS because she's trying to steal some eggs to feed them. Come on, bro. Help me make this shit make sense, bro. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels, y'all. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels.
That's for like you know, they get a lot of money on, they get a lot of people supporting them monetarily just for their plight, because they're like, yo, you're brave enough to do what a lot of us are doing. I don't know if that's the case with this guy. I don't even know if he has no money at all.
You said that Mr. Hinton left the police station around 12:30. CIS.
He initially left around 10:30.
Came back and then left again.
And then returned a couple hours later, yes.
And you said that individuals that know Mr. Hinton, his family members, were saying that he appeared to be agitated, upset, and so forth, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't know the source of that that agitation or that disturbance, do you? If you know, you might not. I don't think you do, but you have to answer the question.
The source of the agitation?
Yes.
Well, I would assume it was because of I believe it was because of the video and the reason that he was at serious.
Do you know the mental history of Mr. Hinton?
No, I do not know detailed mental history.
Right. Do you know whether or not he's had any medically documented infirmities or conditions? Do you know that? You don't, do you? No, I do not.
After bond.
The lawyer basically like trying to fight for this man, like, bro, like, you know, honestly, I don't know how this is going to go in court, but I don't know how this is going to go in court. But it might be hard to pick a jury in a case like this. If he say, I want to take it to trial and it's a jury trial, he might not get charged like somebody. If I just walk up to a law enforcement officer and unalive them compared to the circumstances that, you know, he's in or whatever. But I pray for the family of the officer that lost his life to this, because he didn't have anything to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we got to think about his family too. they lost their life or whatever. Now, if he would have went to the officer that actually did it to his son, it might have been even more of a different case. But yeah, this is tricky. I don't like talk about stuff like this because I don't want no problem with no folks. But hey, I'm just saying, I'm the radio guy. I'm gonna say like what the boy Charlemagne, good punk ass. I'm the radio guy, nigga. Don't come after me, nigga.
Was denied. The sheriff gave a brief statement.
He was a 33-year career deputy for our department. He retired approximately 5 months ago.
Damn, so he was working. Man, so the man was the dude that he unalived was retired. This man worked for 33 years, y'all. And he basically, a lot of people, especially when they retire from things like law enforcement and things of that nature, they'll go and they'll be like, they might do whatever job they used to do on the side, they might try to do it full time when they retire, because they still got the accolades that they had when they were actually a officer that was actually on the force. But after they retire, sometimes they still moonlight with their side gigs, and they'll take that on out, because sometimes their side gigs pay better than the actual pay. Like some officers, if they say it's an officer, you on the beat, they got a football game this weekend, you don't gotta work. A lot of times they'll moonlight and go to the football games and just do security, and a lot of them get actually paid more than what they would get paid their actual salary or what they would get paid hourly as an actual officer on the force.
And he continued to serve.
And by the way, to give my full opinion on this, it's like, it's hard to be
it's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
know something I'm like, well, white people.
It's about as crazy as it ain't crazy as the Carmelo Anthony thing. It's not crazy as that. But the Carmelo Anthony thing, it's almost like the Carmelo Anthony thing. My take on it is, people need to teach their children how to keep their hands to themselves, because at the end of the day, bro, like, when you teach your kids the right way, and you make sure that everything that's being done, or you're teaching your kids respect, you're teaching your kids not to fight, not to do this, not to do that. But I'm also teaching my kids too now. Hey, somebody mess with you, bro. Hey, get them up off of you. If they coming and trying to fight you and do this and do that, I want to teach. I'm teaching my kids to protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? So bro, it's a slippery slope, bro. This is a tough case. Honestly, for me, I'm not gonna speak on it.
He didn't even kill the nigga who killed his son. From what I know. Tell me.
Okay, academic, you heard what academic just said. I'm gonna run right back what he just said.
I know some of y'all like, well, white people done, bro. He didn't even kill the nigga who killed his son. From what I know.
So my sentiment is, that would have been my sentiment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry to say that, but.
I me if I'm wrong. He ain't killed a nigga who killed his son. He just killed a cop. So in reality, bro, if you won't crash out and really lose your life like that, at least target it to the right person.
I actually understand what he's saying right there. Like, you point that energy to the person that did this. Don't point it to an innocent you actually crashed out. Like, if you actually went toward the person that did that to your son, it would have been a whole lot different. But you picked a random officer out here to do that to, and that's not gonna look good at all, bro. Like, it's not gonna look good at all. You know, I understand you was upset your child passed away, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro, to stay free and to stay relevant in this world after your son get killed. You could have been an advocate for reform. Could have been an advocate for reform out here. But he chose the latter. And that's what's gonna get him locked up for a long time, you know. And like I said, rest in peace to his son. Rest in peace to the officer that lost his life, because the officer that actually lost his life had nothing to do with the incident that had to do with his son.
Just because you're like a crash out, that's gonna just get some random shit. No random people to sacrifice your life to. I don't know.
Under oath, and he was directing traffic that day at what would have been a very, very joyous occasion for the University of Cincinnati graduates. Unfortunately, you know what unfolded, and we have lost Larry. Larry has been a deputy who has been so extraordinary. We've retired his badge number 129 will be retired. Larry touched so many lives in this organization because he was a trainer, because he worked in so many specialized units. And Larry was very animate about the...
Yeah, Chad, I can't respect it, bro. Like, yo, if you just kill a random cop, my nigga, I think you a dumb crash out. Like, at least go kill a nigga who killed his son. Because yeah, you got a police department type without now, my nigga, like, at the end of the day, you're going to jail for life. And then you know how the police department get down. You should know how all law enforcement authorities and everything else get down. They're going to torture the family. They're going to be torturing the family for life. They're going to be in jail, not be able to do nothing about it. So, like, if you won't do that, why not just crash out on the dude that did it? Figure out who did it. Figure out, like, come on, it's a cop. So
I don't agree with a lot of shit that academics say, but I definitely you know, I understand where he's coming from. That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all. Next segment, we talking about Shannon Sharp goes off on Diddy. I got like four more. I might do one more stop and then come back. But yeah, we doing Shannon Sharp goes off on Diddy.
You know, it is a shakedown. It is a targeted attack. But Shannon needs to have some accountability because he gave him something to shake down. He gave him something to target by making poor choices.
And the prosecution are alleging that Diddy ran a criminal enterprise, that he was heading up this organization that was there to facilitate his wants and needs through criminal means. And that RICO charge is what will enable them to tie lots of things together if they can convict him.
If you're 54, you have no reason to be talking to a 19-year-old. She's 22 now, Shannon is 56. I'm so glad that audio of Monique went viral yesterday because it's true.
Elaborate, sometimes days-long parties by coercing victims through drugs, threats, and manipulation. They claim to have video evidence, and some of the accusations echo details from over 70 civil lawsuits filed against Combs in the last 30 years.
This woman is alleging that Shannon Sharp her multiple times over the course of a 2-year relationship. The relationship that they had was...
So, the whole thing with Shannon Sharp, y'all, we going through this again. You know, y'all know I done did a lot of videos on this one. I done came down to the realization that Shannon messed herself up. But, you know, when you're working for certain type of companies, Disney, ABC, ESPN. When you working for certain type of people, you gotta move a certain type of way. And you know, it's a lot of men out here that's older than Shannon that got women that age in their circle that they probably deal with. But the difference between them and Shannon, they willing to pay to keep their name out of the spotlight. Shannon, I don't know. I just feel like, I feel like it was a play too, because it came out a week before he was supposed to get the $100 million deal. Yeah, it was a play. We don't know, like, somebody else was quarterbacking. This ain't even Tony Busby, bro. Y'all can say Tony Busby this, Tony Busby that. But somebody sicked them on that man, bro. They sicked them on Shannon, bro.
I literally took one sip of wine beverage and the whole side of my face felt like a house stroke.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. on this party. I think half the people there were butt naked.
And Shannon himself was dropping receipts. And I gotta say, this doesn't look good for his accuser at all.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who's tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is
trying to litigate this in the media before litigating it in a court of law.
Well, Bill and Sade, accepting a plea agreement would mean that Sean Combs would have to admit to trafficking and force. And today he made it very clear that was not going to happen. Diddy maintained all along these encounters involved consenting adults and plans to take chances that a jury agrees.
Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Me jealous? Shaq is like a weirdo.
Tonight, Sean Combs makes it official.
Y'all see they chopping it up. This a video, but I got the MP3. They're basically saying Shaq could have had something to do with this, because Shaq don't like Shannon Sharp, and Shannon Sharp basically don't like Shaq, so there's a little bit of friction there.
Rejecting the government's offer to plead guilty and spare himself the possibility of a prolonged term in prison. When asked if he turned down the offer, Combs answered, "Yes, I do, Your Honor," as he stood in a baggy beige jail uniform. Terms were not disclosed, but prosecutors did say a plea could result in a shorter sentence for Combs than if he's convicted.
And they released a series of explicit text messages that they say prove this was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, language, and fantasy scenarios.
Major developments done involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Eric Petersky.
When that Diddy hotel footage finally dropped, the world seemed to stop. But the real question on everyone's mind was, what would Shannon Sharp, a man known for holding absolutely nothing back, have to say about it? Well, things got explosive and fast, and what was revealed next would shake many to their core.
What made you come here to support Puff?
We support Puff because he's innocent, and I wholeheartedly believe in his innocence, and I knew he was innocent. So,
Well, you think you know he's innocent.
without
Now, as far as jury selection goes, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that both sides expect to have all of this done in a matter of 3 days. Now, given just how high profile this trial is, I was kind of stunned that they seem very confident that they will be able to see the jury in that amount of time.
Then the dam truly broke. Surveillance footage from 2016 obtained and released delivered a visual gut punch that reported globally. The grainy images depicted a scene of raw physical aggression inside a hotel hallway allegedly involving Diddy and his then-girlfriend, Cassie
We talked about that earlier.
Ventura. The rawness of the encounter, the shoving, dragging, the kicking was undeniable and profoundly disturbing.
Man, the lady tried to kick her on the head. Then he took a base and picked it up and threw it at him.
This wasn't hearsay or allegation anymore.
Bro, that was any one of my kids, bro. If that was any one of my children, bro, wouldn't have been no trial. Trial is over. Trial is out. Court session closed. You don't got to worry about all that. I'll be the judge, jury, and I ain't gonna say the last part.
It was cold, hard video evidence that provided a chilling, unblinking window into a private moment of apparent violence, leaving millions grappling with what they had just witnessed.
The decision guarantees Combs will face trial beginning just 4 days from now that will test whether one of music's most prolific figures used his power, wealth, and fame to exploit both women and men for decades.
Days after this deeply damaging footage went viral, dominating every news cycle and social media feed, Diddy emerged with a video of his own, an apology. He spoke of hitting rock bottom, taking full responsibility, and described his actions as inexcusable. However, for a vast majority, the carefully worded mea culpa landed with a thud. Skepticism was immediate and widespread. Police relentlessly questioned the timing, pointing out that this public display of remorse only materialized after irrefutable visual evidence made further denial impossible. The attempt at damage control for many only deepened the wound, feeling more like a strategic maneuver than genuine contrition. And into this cauldron of outrage and disbelief stepped Shannon Sharpe. The Pro Football Hall of Famer, now a commanding force in sports and culture commentary, was...
Sometimes that's why you gotta be careful what you speak on, bro. Like when you're in higher places, because Shannon Sharpe was supposed to be cool with Stephen A. Smith, and after the whole, everything that went on, it was like Stephen A. Smith kind of shaky, dog. Like on this whole thing, like Stephen A. Smith was shaky on everything, bro. Like I ain't
uniquely positioned to address the situation.
If I had a friend and he did that to me, I would be upset. I'm gonna be honest with you, because, bro, just don't say nothing, bro. Don't say nothing, bro. Shut up, dog. Don't say nothing, dog. Just be quiet, bro. You ain't gotta talk about this, fam.
Known for his passionate, straight-from-the-gut delivery on his popular platform, Sharpe has cultivated an audience that expects nothing less than his unadulterated truth. He doesn't just comment on stories, he often becomes the voice of the audience's own unfiltered reactions. The stage was undeniably set for a verbal reckoning. When Shannon Sharpe finally addressed the Diddy footage, his reaction was visceral and immediate. Visibly angered, his voice laced with a potent mix of disbelief and disgust, he didn't mince a single word. He unequivocally labeled the actions depicted in the surveillance video as indefensible, disgusting, and utterly unacceptable. There was a palpable rawness to his commentary, an emotional intensity that clearly communicated this wasn't just another headline for him. It was a profound offense, and his condemnation resonated powerfully with viewers who felt the same sense of shock and revulsion. But Shannon's outrage wasn't confined solely to the violent acts seen on camera. He zeroed in with laser focus on what he perceived as Diddy's profound and calculated deception. Sharpe forcefully reminded his audience of Diddy's previous strenuous denials regarding Cassie Ventura's allegations. Denials that now stood in stark, damning contrast to the irrefutable video evidence. For Sharpe, this wasn't just about the incident itself. It was about a fundamental breach of trust, an accusation that Diddy had looked the world in the eye and lied. He dissected the belated apology, dismissing it as a hollow, performative gesture from someone cornered undeniable proof, not moved by...
So a lot of people saying they putting the contrast in between how he dealt with the whole Diddy thing, which I don't know if he knows Diddy, I don't know if he knows Jay-Z, but oh no, not Shannon Sharpe. We talking about Stephen A. Smith. That's the one that's supposed to be Shannon Sharpe's friend or whatever that brought him to ESPN after his long tenure at Fox Sports with the Undisputed with Skip Bayless. Before, like, if I don't know if y'all remember, all the stuff that came out against Diddy, he was gung-ho, like, yeah, you know, he in a bad situation, he messed up, da-da-da-da-da, this and that. Now, when they bring Jay-Z in now, you change your tune. The man that I know, Jay-Z, he would never do this. Like, but they lumped him in with Diddy. They lumped Jay-Z in with Diddy. So it's like, you stand up for Sean Diddy Combs. I mean, not Sean Diddy Combs. You stand up for Jay-Z. You don't know Jay-Z personally, but you stand up for it. You might have met Jay-Z a couple of times. Y'all ain't hanging out like that. But you don't even stand up for your coworker or your supposed friend that you say that, you know, you looked out for, you brought him to ESPN and all this. Bro, at the end of the day, dog, we looking at you like, if you do that for Jay-Z, you supposed to move heaven and hell for Shannon and Shaw. Shannon, I didn't say Shannon and Shaw. Shannon Shaw.
A genuine remorse. Sharp's impassioned denunciation naturally broadened the conversation beyond the specific individuals involved. His commentary implicitly pointed towards the troubling systems and societal silences that can often enable powerful figures to evade accountability for extended periods. The discussion he ignited explored the uncomfortable questions about industry complicity, the dynamics of power and abuse, and why such serious allegations sometimes take so long to come to light or be taken seriously. Diddy's once seemingly impenetrable legacy was now facing an unprecedented and public trial, with voices like Sharp's amplifying the calls for a thorough and just examination of all claims. Shannon Sharp's explosive takedown of Diddy's actions and subsequent apology transcended a mere viral social media moment. It crystallized the widespread sense of betrayal and fueled an unwavering public demand for true and meaningful accountability. As the legal process is slowly churned and the full consequences continue to unfurl, one undeniable truth hangs heavy in the air. Secrets, no matter how carefully guarded or vehemently denied, possess an uncanny and often terrifying ability to eventually fight their way into the harsh glare of public scrutiny. And now, a global audience watches with bated breath, invested in seeing what form genuine justice will ultimately take in this deeply unsettling saga. The wait for formal justice is, however, occurring amidst a swift and brutal cascade of real-world consequences for Combs. The horrific clarity of the leaked footage didn't just provoke widespread public fury, it sent immediate and decisive shockwaves rippling through the entertainment and business industries he once dominated. Reports began to surface almost instantly of lucrative brand partnerships being quietly suspended or terminated, former collaborators and associates conspicuously distancing themselves, and the already serious federal investigation reportedly gaining even more impetus. The meticulously constructed edifice of Diddy's global brand appeared to be visibly crumbling pillar by pillar, with remarkably few voices, if any, stepping forward to offer support or defense in this critical hour. And as Diddy's once unshakable empire now teeters precariously on the brink, the powerful, unfiltered words of commentators like Shannon Sharp echo with a newfound resonance, perhaps heralding a more permanent and significant societal shift. Sharp's audacious willingness to so forcefully and publicly confront such a high-profile and influential figure isn't merely fodder for online discussion. It reflects a discernibly growing public intolerance of the fame, wealth, or status of the accused. The profound question that now lingers in the collective consciousness is whether this moment signifies the dawn of a new, more stringent standard, an era where influence and power no longer serve as impenetrable shields against the glaring light of one's own actions. Only the passage of time will truly reveal if this is a fleeting reaction or a fundamental turning point in the quest for universal accountability.
Depending on how much the extortion was. So it shows that the guy collecting for BU was getting a quarter or a half.
Alright, y'all, so that's that. I'm probably gonna kill this live right here. I will be back. I'll probably be back about that into an hour. Probably not even an hour. I gotta run and get a couple things, and I will be back. I will be back. So yeah, I thank y'all for kicking it with me in the Karma Cafe. I definitely want y'all to like, subscribe, share. If y'all like the freestyle fanatic stuff, I be doing the podcast. Let me know in the description, things of that nature. Hey man, I love y'all. God love y'all. And hey bro, y'all just watch and pray, man. Watch and pray.